on. I'm going to use my Wet n Wild Comfort Zone palette. It looks like this. Mine's super broken because I dropped it. My bad. But it's got some really beautiful colors in it. I think we're going to stay around the neutral and maybe throw a pop of green in there somewhere because I'm kind of feeling neutrally today. So I need to prime my eyes, and I'm going to be using the Urban Decay Primer Potion eyeshadow base in Eden. This is a little mini bottle that I got in one of the palettes. I don't remember which one anymore. I'm just going to pop some on my eyelids. I learned actually at the NARS counter relatively recently that you're not supposed to prime both eyes at once because the primer dries and then you can't, like, it doesn't work as well. And I completely believe her, but I am really lazy and forget most of the time, like I did just right there. So if you want to be really, like, careful with it and you, like, care a lot, like I'm going to be coming home from lunch and then just spending the rest of the day at home, so I don't really care. Then you want to prime an eye, put on your eyeshadow, and then prime the next eye and do the eyeshadow again. But I don't really care. So yeah. Anyway, so I'm going to take this MAC brush that the number has completely rubbed off on, but it's just a flat shader brush. And I'm going to take the second color on this side. It actually says eyelid on it. Everything in their palettes from Wet n Wild is labeled. So it starts at the top, it says brow bone, eyelid, crease, and definer in all of the palettes that they ever have. No matter how many colors are in it, usually the ones I have at least, they all have like a designated area. So I'm going to take my flat shader brush and I'm going to stick it in this light color right here, the second one on the lighter side that says eyelid on it. And one thing, if you don't already know about Wet n Wild products, is the pigments are super buttery and very, very dense. Like, you do not need a lot of product to get a lot of color. So you just kind of want to lightly pat your shadow in, your brush into your shadow. You can even knock off the excess either on the palette or on the side of your desk or whatever. And I'm just going to pop this on my lid. With a flat shader brush, I've noticed that it works a little bit better if you kind of press the color into your eyelid as opposed to wiping it. I used to be a very big fan of wiping my eyeshadow onto my eye because it just seemed like the way you would do it, and I think that is the way you're supposed to do it if you use a sponge. This was probably back in 7th grade when I was using a sponge applicator. But now that I'm using a correct brush, you want to kind of push the product on instead of wiping it. So you'll see that I'm just kind of bouncing it across my eyeshadow as opposed to wiping it across my eyeshadow. This is a very subtle color. It's not going to do anything super drastic. It's a little bit rose goldy, but it's really just a pretty easy neutral. And do the same thing to the other side. Again, patting it onto my eyelid. And old habits die hard, and I wiped at the end. Alright, so now that we have that done, we're going to go ahead and just whoop, flip that brush right over, and we're going to take the clean side into the top brow bone color, and we're going to very gently sweep this under our eyebrows onto our brow bone. You can go in as far as you want to. I tend to actually do my whole eyebrow. I know a lot of people just do under the arch, but I'm not a lot of people, and I don't know, it's just the way I like it. I think it lightens up the whole eye. I do concentrate the color underneath the brow, on the brow bone right under the arch, but I do definitely drag color all the way under my eyebrow. And then we're going to take the same color, which is this light one right here, and we're on the same part of the brush, and we're going to pop it on our inner corners. And a lot of people do this because it lightens up the inside, the inner corner of your eye, and it kind of makes your eye look a little bit bigger. It makes you look a little more awake. It kind of draws the attention to your eyes, and I really like that look. I've actually, before I ever learned that trick, like learned that it was a trick, I was always doing that anyway, so I felt like, oh, my instincts paid off. If you guys watch What Not to Wear, so sad that that show is ending. Carmody talks about it all the time. She also always makes sure to add a highlight underneath the eye, or rather, yeah, across the top of the cheekbones. And I did that today, but I don't normally do that. I very rarely use highlighter because it's not necessarily a crock, but it gives you a dewy finish, and I've got oily skin, so I don't need a dewy finish. It just makes me look more oily. Okay, I didn't really need this part, but we'll just sweep it. On this part I do sweep because I want it to be very subtle. I don't want it to have a large deposit of pigment. Alright, what we want to do now, I think I'm going to combine the two crease colors, and I'm going to rely mostly on the brown crease color right here, but I'm also going to pop a little bit of this one. It's a really interesting color. If you guys have this palette, I recommend using this side. They're beautiful. This color that we're going to use right here, I'm going to wash it over this crease color after I apply it. Reminds me a lot of the Zodiac Moon Dust color from Urban Decay out of their new, they're called Moon Dust, right? The new collection of super sparkle shadows, that's what that color reminds me of. So right now I'm going to take this white shadow brush. It just says defining eye brush. This is from e.l.f. It's their angled eyeshadow brush. And I like it a lot. So I'm just going to tap it again into that third crease color and just kind of sweep it across my crease, a little bit on my brow bone so you can see a little bit of the color, about 3/4 of the way into the corner of my eye. This is where I'm going to use my windshield wiper technique with my brush, and I'm going to hold it vertically and sweep it back and forth, because when you have this, like the less amount of bristles up here, you're going to have a more diffused look, and it's going to kind of gradate up your eye. At least that's what we're hoping for. Get a little more product and onto the other eye. I don't know about you guys, but because I'm right-handed, I always struggle a little bit with my left eye. Like, it never does exactly what I want it to, and it can be very frustrating. I have to work a lot harder at getting the look I want on my left eye. I guess just because I'm right-handed and my hand doesn't know how to like function over here. Actually, this is kind of pretty, right, just like that. But that's not good enough for me. I am feeling a little bit more crazy today. Just kidding, these aren't that crazy of colors, but I don't usually wear dark colors. Now I'm going to take this brush. It's actually a paintbrush, but it's one of my favorite. It's just a 1/4 inch brush. It looks a lot like the angled brushes, but it's technically not, because it's technically a paintbrush. I got that trick from my mom, by the way. Some of my, well, actually this is the only one I have now that has survived this long. But some of my favorite eyeshadow brushes when I was younger were paint brushes. So I got a little bit of this darker color right here that looks like Zodiac. And we're going to very gently put this in the outer corner of my eyes. Very gently. It's a very pigmented product. It's a very pigmented color. You don't want to have black all over your eye. You will end up looking like a panda, and I have a hair. There it is. So annoying. So this might go terribly, terribly wrong, just so you know. Okay, so far so good. So I'm going to sweep this just a little bit into my inner corner. And about halfway into the brown crease color we've already done. You want to be very careful with black eyeshadows and dark eyeshadows, especially ones that come from companies who are known for pigment. If you're using like a chalkier one, or one that you know you need to dig into the pot for a lot of pigment, that's fine. But with Wet n Wild, Urban Decay, MAC, I think Sugar Pill, things like that where you barely have to try for any color, you need to be very careful. You're going to end up with a big black sparkly eye. And that might work during Halloween, but it probably isn't so good for your everyday life. We're going to do the same thing over here. Going about halfway in on that crease color we've already done. And then sweeping just a little bit into the corner and onto the eyelid. I don't even know how to describe how much I'm doing, because I'm literally just depositing like the smallest amount I can and sweeping it inward for a little bit of a gradation. This little corner, my left eye, swear to God, it's always a pain in my butt. Alright, so now that we have all of our color deposited onto our eyes, I'm going to take, if I can find the brush I'm looking for. No. Oh, maybe. Yeah, this'll do. This is a Sonia Kashuk brush. I think this is like one of the like crease brushes. It's tiny and purple. I'm actually just going to use this to kind of blend out the colors, especially between the crease color and the brow bone color, to kind of soften it a little bit. So it looks less, what's the word I'm thinking of? I don't know. You just don't want a really harsh line. Maybe that's the word I was thinking of. So just kind of blending it out and softening it a little bit. All right. So that is our eyeshadow look. I'm going to finish with this Soft Kohl Kajal eyeliner from Rimmel in Jet Black number 061. And then I have two mascaras I'm going to layer, and this is the Revlon Grow Luscious Plumping Waterproof, which I think is also in black and brown. And then this is a new one that I picked up in Hawaii, and this is the Voluminous Million Lashes by L'Oreal in waterproof and also in black. Maybe. Pretty sure it is, because that's really all I wear. So I just decided to do something else, and I'm going to open back up my Comfort Zone palette, and I'm going to take a little bit of this really dark definer and a little bit of the crease color that we used, and I'm going to put it under my lower lash line to kind of soften out the eyeliner that I just did. And I literally just came up with this idea right now. It might not work. Oh, but I like it. Okay, right now I'm using a small smudge brush from e.l.f. It's this, oh crap. It's a little teeny tiny brush. Like, I don't even, it's a really small brush. It's a smudge brush. Sometimes I use like a flat eyeliner brush under my eyes, but that one's dirty right now. Alright, that looks better, I think. Otherwise it was like wah, black eyeliner. And then we're going to throw on some mascara. I don't know, do you guys do this? Okay, so I like pull it out, I swirl it. Okay, go. Don't pump your mascara, that just brings a bunch of air into it and it gets bacteria grown in there, and that's bad. So you want to swirl your mascara in, and then I usually clean off the tip. And then I try and get any chunks that are in the brush. I try and wipe them off on the bottle because I don't want them in my eyelashes. I'm not going to put this stuff on my bottom lashes because I think that would be way too heavy for those really fragile small lashes. They only get one coat. I try to use the tip that I cleaned off to kind of space out the eyelashes so that they're not all clumped together. And then we're going to go through with this Voluminous Million Lashes. I'm not sure if I like this stuff. Like, I don't hate it by any means, but I don't think it's amazing. It was nice to have in Hawaii though, because I forgot mascara. I forgot mascara. Who even does that? Oh, so I do that face one only on my bottom lashes usually. Alright, so I think that is all of my eye look. I don't know what I'm putting on my lips. Probably just chapstick because it got cold while I was in Hawaii. It's cold here now and I have to wear shoes. Do you want coral eye or lips? Yeah, I think coral will be good. Alright, so I'm going to use something that I've never used before, or I think I've only used once, and it's the Too Faced Lip Insurance Smoothing Anti-Feathering Lip Primer. And because I'm using a really light color, I don't want it to just rub away. And on top of that, I'm going to use this Rimmel Moisture Renew Lipstick in Coral Spark, number 120, and it's this really pretty light color. I think they have two coral ones. They have Coral Spark and Coral Shimmer. One of them came out last year, one of them came out this year. I don't remember which is which, but I apparently bought them both because I forgot that I had the other one. So, if I can open it. Do you unscrew? Ha! You unscrew this, guys. You don't pull it off. I thought it was like a lipstick, like chapstick thing. It's not. So it's got, I have this little tiny, this is the 3.5 gram or 0.12 ounce bottle. I got it in the Beauty Editor Darlings kit thing. Anyways, I'm just gonna smooth it on my lips. Right. I don't know if you're supposed to let dry or not. There are no directions. Whoopsies. Well, we'll see what happens. And then I'm going to take my lipstick. Because this is a lighter color, I'm just going to smudge it all over my face. If it was a darker color, I would use a lip brush. But this is not going to kill me. It's not going to look bad if you like get a little bit out of place. And that's it. Yay, this is my face today. I hope you liked it. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know what you think and what you want to see in the future. And I will talk to you guys later with an update on the BB cream. So until then, peace, love, and smiles.